his legacy, and I had the honor of interviewing him when I was 16 at the DNC. It's such a surreal moment for me. But knowing that he was 17 when he became seriously engaged in this movement, and even thinking about these concepts of nonviolence that have been passed down, I know the one thing just as a brown and black community that we've been good at is adapting and innovating on ideas. And I think that's a beautiful example of it. I know it's especially come to light as of late that Gandhi was not necessarily considering the black community when in his action. But then for Dr. King and for Congressman Lewis to be able to take those principles and increasingly expand who's being included in that, I feel like it speaks to the beauty of this movement and of our collective imagination to push past what things are initially meant for, to be more inclusive.
I say that all the time, like those first three words of our Constitution, we the people, like they did not have you and I in mind.
No.
Women weren't included in we the people. Black folks were not included in we the people. But we know that we are people. We know that despite the limited vision of the people who wrote those first three words, the truth, like that's where this idea of seeking truth, the truth is that we the people means all of us. And so we get to fight for that. We get to fight to fulfill a dream that was even bigger than our founding fathers.
Right. It's exciting and at times overwhelming, but I know, what is the term for it? Imminent critique, when you're holding others up to the ideals that you know they say they stand for.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to go into questions to see if there's anything here. We'll just have a couple more moments. Can you tell us more about Push Black? So Push Black is this amazing organization that works to tell story about Black folks, and through like current news and also historical news, and often linking those ideas together, like who we've been, who we are, just like celebrating the beauty of all of us. So it's an incredible resource. You should follow them. We're raising money for them. Push Black is dope.
It's so exciting to see the donation increase as we go.
What's your biggest piece of advice for young voters getting Gen Z excited to vote, Yara?
Well, the one thing that I've always said is that I personally feel like so many of my peers are already excited to vote, and it's a matter of how do we then connect them with resources? We know that down ballot voting is going to be so important, and at the same time, it's what we know the least about. Even voting in my primary, the amount of deep work I had to do to even find some of those names. And so I think it's really about, there are a lot of passionate people, but young people, but how do we then connect them with the resources necessary to guide that passion, to say, you are focused on this type of reform? Well, you should be paying attention to your DA race, which is not something that you may necessarily pay attention to. So here's this resource. But I think it's a matter of just ensuring that we have that connection to the information that helps our passions translate into policy.
And for those of you who don't know, I just want to explain, when Yara says down ballot races, what she means is like not just the president and the vice president, but really focusing on your local elections, like your sheriff and your school board leaders and judges, because those are the people that make decisions about our day-to-day lives in our direct communities. And those races are so, so important. So let's talk about Zimbabwe. There's a lot of Zimbabwe in here, and I know you both posted about it. It's super important to pay attention what's happening in Zimbabwe right now. There's lots of resources online. Both Yara and I have posted about it, so please tune in. Like, we have to be aware of our Black struggles for liberation and freedom all over the world.
Absolutely.
Let's see, what else? Let's see. How does this election feel different than 2016?
Well, one immediate thought for me is that I can actually vote in this election. And in 2016, I escorted my parents to the polls, but then that was about the extent of what felt like I could do. But I feel like the past 4 years, I've watched so many of my peers turn from people that are, of course, passionate about the world to finding new ways to take action. And I think as much as I wish that the level of community action didn't have to be in response to the loss of life and Black death, I do have to say there's something really powerful about moving into the election after months of strong community action. And I feel like that feels really different because I know last election there was a sentiment of not even thinking that we could possibly even enter a world in which we are living under this administration. And so there was almost a level of casualness to feeling like, well, this was never even a possibility. And I think after seeing that it is a possibility, there are many people that are more adamant about really being active in this election.
Yeah, I think the other thing that's different is like one of the things that's happened on the positive side in the face of this administration, like nobody has been safe. Everybody's
Mm-hmm.
been attacked. Black folks are being attacked. LGBTQ people are being attacked. Women are being attacked. And so I get the sense that it's no longer like our issue over here matters and like our pain is more important than your pain. But there
Right.
really is a sense that like we all have to work toward change together, that if we don't all
Mm-hmm.
do it together, we're not going to get there. Um,
Absolutely.
and sort of understanding that unless that real quote that unless we're all free none of us are free, it
Mm-hmm.
feels like people are really embracing that
Mm-hmm.
for the first time in my lifetime in a very real way. um, well, I just want to thank you for joining us.
No, so happy to be a part of this conversation.
It's
I
really
so
really
just as an
contributed.
audience member, I always enjoy tuning in, but happy to
Um,
be involved.
somebody asked if Yara and I would do a movie together, and I just want everybody to be reminded that Yara played the young Olivia Pope in
Yeah.
flashback episodes of Scandal. So we haven't yet done a movie together, but we
Mm-hmm.
will. We will.
Oh, yes. Let's speak that into existence. I remember that week like it was yesterday. You weren't even shooting and you took the time to come over to say hello and it just meant so much to me.
Well, you're
Um,
so precious, and just even in that moment, I was like, "Who is this extraordinarily talented young woman?" And they're making me look so good by having the younger version of me be so pretty.
just want to be like you.
So thank you.
No,
Thank you,
but
thank
thank you
you.
so much.
All right, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you so much, Yara.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, everybody. I will say, as we always do at the end of yoga, namaste. And what I mean is the true meaning of that. The God in me bows to the God in you. The light in me bows to the light in you. Thank you for joining. And we'll do yoga again soon. Bye.